do you love about it?
I love people coming up to me and saying, "How are you, George?"
Do you?
I tell you, there used to be an actress called Greta Garbo, and she was Swedish, and she used to say, "I want to be alone. I don't want to be alone."
Good answer. Honest answer. Honest answer. So, do you guys, there's a touch of the Statler and Waldorf sometimes about you guys. Do you remember the guys in the Muppet Show in the balcony? Oh, it was terrible. But do you guys, do you hang out together beyond the gates of the studio?
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean...
No, we don't. We get on okay. Like, we have arguments. I mean, nothing is staged on the rugby. Like, George and I, we disagree a lot about different things, but that makes it decent TV, you know. I mean, you watch some of the other channels, it's very staid, it's very technical.
Yeah.
George will go on about the Gatling guns, the little bighorn. I don't know what he's talking about, but you know... But that's it. So that dynamic works quite well. But we wouldn't hang out. No.
No, but you'd know a bit about each other.
He knocks around with Tom McGurk
Oh,
and
like,
the older set.
Oh, the older set. The old fellas gathering around together. But you know a bit about each other.
No, we don't, like. I mean, we don't hang around. We don't, like, visit each other's houses or have beers together or anything like that. We are united on only one topic, and it is how the hell do we control Tom McGurk? And that's all we're united. That's the only thing we have in common.
That's a tough job. I think
we have nothing else in common.
But you probably chat away during the ad breaks about what's going on in the world, and I think, at least I'm hoping for that, because we want to put your bond, your knowledge of each other to a test in a little game we're now going to call Mr. and Mr. And to play this game, I'm going to ask...
about him then.
Well, we're going to find out. You might know more than you think. We're going to ask Brent some series of questions about Mr. George Hook. George, you're not going to be able to hear the questions, so would you make your way over to the Tubridy Night bar, please? Fix yourself a drink. George Hook, ladies and gentlemen.
Cookie Monster.
Don't let him have any gin.
No, he'll probably start arguing with the goldfish. That's the problem. This is the Hooked on You award we'll present to the winner of this prize, of course, if you succeed. So I've got a few questions that I'm going to put to you, if I may, Brent. We'll start with the first question. Who is George's ideal woman, apart from the obvious one, the lovely...
His ideal woman?
Yeah. Who do you think...
That's easy. Because, was it last year or the year before, he was salivating at the thought of Pamela Anderson arriving to
Okay.
He rushed off from News Talk. I was doing stuff in News Talk at the time for the rugby, and he was in a panic for the whole day. And I said, "What's wrong, George? You're up to 90." He said, "Pamela Anderson is coming into town."
Okay, question 2. Dog and heat. Question 2. What song would always get George up on the dance floor? Do you know that? Have you been out enough the odd time?
I don't even think George can dance.
No. We could put him for the test later on. Would you hazard a guess?
It'd be an oldie somewhere.
Yeah?
An old 78 record or something. I wouldn't know, sorry.
Okay, but you're thinking old, like a 60s number?
Something from Metallica or something.
Metallica. You're thinking, we'll go 60s number. When does George think that he most annoys you? When does he start riling you and really gives you a whack?
When does he think?
He's annoying you.
He annoys me most of the time, but no, he doesn't.
When does he annoy you
when
most?
he would, I suppose when he'd have jibes about New Zealand or whatever, All Black rugby or something.
All Black slagging.
Yeah.
Slagging.
New Zealand
GGs.
slagging, yeah.
Very good. Now, what did George say his most embarrassing moment was?
Oh, are you serious? There's heaps of most embarrassing
But
moments.
give us...
Would it be something to do with the dysfunction?
No.
No,
That's not embarrassing. That's fine.
But it is for him.
No, well, it's not. He's happy to talk about it.
Oh.
No.
Most embarrassing. I seriously don't know.
Okay.
He's got so many of them.
Has he ever done anything embarrassing in front of you?
Do you know the answers to these?
No, I don't know the answer, but I've got an idea. I was given a steer on this one. I was involved at the gong and...
Geez, yeah, we were on... a quick story, we travelled to do No Frontiers in San Francisco last year.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
And we'd had a couple of wines, and we went to a wine place where they were making all the wine, and there was a whole lot of women in there. And George, there was a big gong up on the wall, and George decided to take off the guy that does the rank Xerox. Remember the muscular guy?
The rank film.
Yeah, the
boing.
I think he was Mr. World or something. So George strips off in front of all these sophomore students. He hits the gong, but nothing much happens. So then he gives it another belt. The gong comes down, hits George on the top of the head. George falls over, the gong falls on the floor and wobbles like that, and all the girls fall about the place he picks up. But it's an outtake somewhere.
George banging a gong.
Yeah.
Okay. Final question. What is George's guilty pleasure as you see it? She may be in the audience.
Ladies would definitely be the guilty.
Okay, looking
yeah,
at
sorry,
women.
Ingrid. But Pamela Anderson again.
Okay, so looking at women.
Ladies
who
of a certain shape and size, absolutely.
Large. Okay, we move on. That's getting rude. Now,
Yeah, sorry.
I think we have a fair answer. I think Mr. Pope did very well in that. But let's bring back Mr. George Hook. Come on, George.
I got you, baby. I got you, baby. Okay, monster.
Come on, George.
I got you, baby. I got you, baby.
George, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions for you.
Okay.
Please get them right because we need you to win the Hooked on You Award 2009 as presented by the Tubridy Show, Tubridy Tonight. Question number 1. Who is your ideal woman, please? Apart from your wife.
Well, I grew up in the priest-ridden era in Ireland, so I've always had a passionate desire for the human frame, and nobody is built better than Pamela Anderson.
And for those of you watching at home, that's Pamela on the left. Question 2. What song would always get you up on the dance floor, George? What songs get...
Now, the man basically who influenced them all in rock and roll. Buddy Holly of the Black Glasses and Rave On.
He said 1960s. I'm feeling generous. The country needs good news. I'm going to give it to you. Correct answer. What is it about you that most gets on his nerves? What do you do to needle him and rile him?
Oh, it's a cinch, you know. He gets so upset when I say anything about the All Blacks.
That's the
I don't believe this.
This is very good. You're good.
I don't believe this.
No,
I
it's
don't
true.
believe
This
this.
is how predictable you are. Now, what did George say? What did you think was your most embarrassing moment?
I said something about the dysfunction, but...
He was talking about erectile dysfunction. I said it wasn't embarrassing. You're happy to talk about it publicly. So do you mind
It
that?
wasn't embarrassing, the fact that I can't do it anymore. It doesn't embarrass me at all. It doesn't embarrass me at all. No, we were in America on No Frontiers, and there was this big gong in the...
Do you want to see it? For the love of Jiminy
What a
Cricket.
body.
That's
What a body.
That's
What a
like the
body.
head's been planted on something
Yeah,
else.
no, that's George's real body, actual size. Yep. Okay, we have one more. If you get this right, it's awards for both of you, for framed prizes.
Okay.
What would you say, George, is your guilty pleasure? Titter ye not.
Now, you don't seriously expect me to answer that live on television.
Go on.
For you, and this is between you and me and nobody else?
It's only us in the room, George.
All right, good. Okay, on that condition, you can't be crazy about Pamela Anderson and not be crazy about that part of her body which she had surgically enhanced. I adore boobs.
Correct answer. And the good news is, the Tubridy Tonight I'm Hooked on You Award for Best Man Love 2009 goes to pass that over to Mr. Hook, please. That goes to Mr. Pope. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, to Brent and George. Okay, and you guys, you're back. I just see it here. You're on, obviously, next Saturday, Six Nations covered starting at 2:30. It's going to be a cracker next Saturday, RT2 for you boys. Great to see you, as you know. Brent Pope, George Hook, thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right, then we have a short break to take. Join us in a few minutes' time when we'll be joined by Bell X1 and indeed Ireland's answer to Angelina Jolie. Stay with us.